Yahweh chose us from the bottom. Yeah, we ran to a couple of problems, but Yahweh still got us. You got a problem, he can solve it. We keep the commandments. We teach our sons and teach our daughters. We pray through Yeshua, the only way that reach the Father. Yahweh chose us from the bottom. Yeah, we ran to a couple of problems, but Yahweh still got us. You got a problem, he can solve it. We keep the commandments. We teach our sons and teach our daughters. We pray through Yeshua, the only way that on a mission to snatch my people straight about that fire. On a mission to snatch the lamb out the mouth of a lion. If you notice he ain't in the fold, leave the 99. Just say that brother or sister somehow we left behind. Should I leave the 99 sheep to go back for the one? I mean that's still 99 and that's more than some. Yeshua came for the lost sheep, let's get him young. He might be seeking a change like the prodigal son. Wise as a serpent, homeless as doves, that's how we played. Blocking these fiery arrows, strap with my shoulder faith. Many are called, few are chosen, what the scriptures say. Jeremiah 31:21, the ship's on the way, crossing the Jordan, still waters, we want no trouble that day. Matthew 7:13, enter through the straight gates, broad is the path of destruction, but narrow is the way. Jeremiah 31, for the new covenant we shall wait. Hebrews 8, yeah, Hebrews 8, for the new covenant we shall wait. All praise to the Most High Yahweh Elohim, praise Yah. Yahweh chose us from the bottom. Yeah, we ran to a couple of problems, but Yahweh still got us. You got a problem, he can solve it. We keep the commandments. We teach our sons and teach our daughters. We pray through Yeshua, the only way that reach the Father. Yahweh chose us from the bottom. Yeah, we ran to a couple of problems, but Yahweh still got us. You got a problem, he can solve it. We keep the commandments. We teach our sons and teach our daughters. We pray through Yeshua, the only way that reach the Father.
Started from the bottom, now we heal. You already know what it is. Giving praise to the God of Israel. Yeah, the truth has been revealed, even though a lot of man said live the whole world again to see for real. Read Revelation chapter 12. Time will tell who will prevail 400 year captivity. But we coming out of here. Prophecy been fulfilled. Gotta live righteously. Yeah, we'll see who is real and who will be out. Cause of fear, cause of doubt. Who will hear and believe our report. Time to resort back to the source. Yeah, the mighty one through the sun. Fight a run, we gon' fight. If it in his will, Ephesians 6:12. Yeah, we battle where the evil dwell. Hell is just a grace. So yeah, you know we walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Who shall we feel? Come on. Cause salvation is near, even though it's a war going on. Gotta keep marching on. This is for my pills. Either have the ill here. It's time to go home, for real.
Yahweh chose us from the bottom. Yeah, we ran to a couple of problems, but Yahweh still got us. You got a problem, he can solve it. We keep the commandments. We teach our sons and teach our daughters. We pray through Yeshua, the only way that reach the Father. Yahweh chose us from the bottom. Yeah, we ran to a couple of problems, but Yahweh still got us. You got a problem, he can solve it. We keep the commandments. We teach our sons and teach our daughters. We pray through Yeshua, the only way that reach the Father. Yahweh chose us from the bottom. Yeah, we ran to a couple of problems, but Yahweh still got us. You got a problem, he can solve it. We keep the commandments. We teach our sons and teach our daughters. We pray through Yeshua, the only way that reach the Father. Yahweh chose us from the bottom. Yeah, we ran to a couple of problems, but Yahweh still got us. You got a problem, he can solve it. We keep the commandments. We teach our sons and teach our daughters. We pray through Yeshua, the only way that on a mission to snatch my people straight about that fire. On a mission to snatch the lamb out the mouth of a lion. If you notice he ain't in the fold, leave the 99. Just say that brother or sister somehow we left behind. Should I leave the 99 sheep to go back for the one? I mean that's still 99 and that's more than some. Yeshua came for the lost sheep, let's get him young. He might be seeking a change like the prodigal son. Wise as a serpent, homeless as doves, that's how we played. Blocking these fiery arrows, strap with my shoulder faith. Many are called, few are chosen, what the scriptures say. Jeremiah 31:21, the ship's on the way, crossing the Jordan, still waters, we want no trouble that day. Matthew 7:13, enter through the straight gates, broad is the path of destruction, but narrow is the way. Jeremiah 31, for the new covenant we shall wait. Hebrews 8, yeah, Hebrews 8, for the new covenant we shall wait. All praise to the Most High Yahweh Elohim, praise Yah. Yahweh chose us from the bottom. Yeah, we ran to a couple of problems, but Yahweh still got us. You got a problem, he can solve it. We keep the commandments. We teach our sons and teach our daughters. We pray through Yeshua, the only way that reach the Father. Yahweh chose us from the bottom. Yeah, we ran to a couple of problems, but Yahweh still got us. You got a problem, he can solve it. We keep the commandments. We teach our sons and teach our daughters. We pray through Yeshua, the only way that reach the Father.
Started from the bottom, now we heal. You already know what it is. Giving praise to the God of Israel. Yeah, the truth has been revealed. Even though a lot of masses live, the whole world has been deceived for real. Read Revelation chapter 12. Time will tell who will prevail. 400 year captivity. But we coming out of here. Prophecy been fulfilled. Gotta live righteously. Yeah, we'll see who is real and who will be out. Cause of fear, cause of doubt. Who will hear and believe our report. Time to resort back to the sword. Yeah, the mighty one through the sun. Fight a run, we gon' fight. If it is will, Ephesians 6 and 12. Yeah, we battle where the evil dwell. Hell is just a grace. So yeah, you know we walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Who shall we feel? Come on. Cause our vision is near, even though it's a war going on. Gotta keep marching on. This is for my pills. Either have the ill heal. It's time to go home.
For real. Yahweh chose us from the bottom. Yeah, we ran to a couple of problems, but Yahweh still got us. You got a problem, he can solve it. We keep the commandments. We teach our sons and teach our daughters. We pray through Yeshua, the only way that reach the Father. Yahweh chose us from the bottom. Yeah, we ran to a couple of problems, but Yahweh still got us. You got a problem, he can solve it. We keep the commandments. We teach our sons and teach our daughters. We pray through Yeshua, the only way that reach the Father. It's too late now. All praise to Yahweh, the Most High, our Elohim. Yeah. Yahweh chose us from the bottom. Yeah, we ran to a couple of problems, but Yahweh still got us. You got a problem, he can solve it. We keep the commandments. We teach our sons and teach our daughters. We pray through Yeshua, the only way that reach the Father. Yahweh chose us from the bottom. Yeah, we ran to a couple of problems, but Yahweh still got us. You got a problem, he can solve it. We keep the commandments. We teach our sons and teach our daughters. We pray through Yeshua, the only way that reach the Father. On a mission to snatch my people straight about that fire. On a mission to snatch the lamb out the mouth of a lion. If you notice he ain't in the fold, leave the 99. Just save that brother or sister somehow we left behind. Should I leave the 99 sheep to go back for the one? I mean that's still 99 and that's more than some. Yeshua came for the lost sheep, let's get him young. He might be seeking a change like the prodigal son. Wise as a serpent, homeless as doves, that's how we played. Blocking these fiery arrows, strap on my shoulder faith. Many are called, few are chosen, what the scriptures say. Jeremiah 31:21, the ship's on the way, crossing the Jordan, still waters, we want no trouble that day. Matthew 7:13, enter through the straight gates. Broad is the path of destruction, but narrow is the way. Jeremiah 31, for the new covenant we shall wait. Hebrews 8, yeah. Hebrews 8, for the new covenant we shall wait. All praise to the Most High, Yahweh Elohim. Praise Yah. Yahweh chose us from the bottom. Yeah, we ran to a couple of problems, but Yahweh still got us. You got a problem, he can solve it. We keep the commandments. We teach our sons and teach our daughters. We pray through Yeshua, the only way that reach the Father. Yahweh chose us from the bottom. Yeah, we ran to a couple of problems, but Yahweh still got us. You got a problem, he can solve it. We keep the commandments. We teach our sons and teach our daughters. We pray through Yeshua, the only way that reach the Father.
Started from the bottom, now we heal. You already know what it is. Giving praise to the God of Israel. Yeah, the truth has been revealed. Even though a lot of masses live, the whole world has been deceived for real. Read Revelation chapter 12. Time will tell who will prevail. 400 year captivity. But we coming out of here. Prophecy been fulfilled. Gotta live righteously. Yeah, we'll see who is real and who will be out. Cause of fear, cause of doubt. Who will hear and believe our report. Time to resort back to the sword. Yeah, the mighty one through the sun. Fight a run, we gon' fight. If it is will, Ephesians 6 and 12. Yeah, we battle where the evil dwell. Hell is just a grace. So yeah, you know we walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Who shall we feel? Come on. Cause our vision is near, even though it's a war going on. Gotta keep marching on. This is for my pills. Either have the ill heal. It's time to go home.
For real. Yahweh chose us from the bottom. Yeah, we ran to a couple of problems, but Yahweh still got us. You got a problem, he can solve it. We keep the commandments. We teach our sons and teach our daughters. We pray through Yeshua, the only way that reach the Father. Yahweh chose us from the bottom. Yeah, we ran to a couple of problems, but Yahweh still got us. You got a problem, he can solve it. We keep the commandments. We teach our sons and teach our daughters.
Shalom Facebook, Shalom YouTube. Welcome to our history class. Tonight we're in 2 Kings chapter 16. Before we get started, does anyone have any questions? No questions? All right then, let's go ahead and get started. But
Second Kings chapter 16, verse 1. In the 17th year of Pekah, the son of Remaliah, Ahaz, the son of Jotham, Second Kings chapter 16, verse 1. In the 17th year of Pekah, the son of Remaliah, Ahaz, the son of Jotham, king of Yehudah, began to reign. 20 years old was Ahaz when he began to reign, and reigned 16 years in Jerusalem, and did not that which was right in the sight of Yahweh his Elohim, like David his father. But he walked in the way of the kings of Israel, yea, and made his son to pass through the fire, according to the abominations of the heathen, whom Yahweh cast out from before the children of Israel.
mm-hmm.
And he sacrificed and burned incense in the high places, and on the hills, and under every green tree. Then Rezin, king of Syria, and Pekah, son of Remaliah, king of Israel, came up to Jerusalem to war, and they besieged Ahaz, but could not overcome him.
Mm-hmm.
At that time, Rezin, king of Syria, recovered Elath to Syria, and drave the Jews from Elath, and the Syrians came to Elath and dwell there until this day.
Now that word Jew, to see the word Jews there, that's the first time you see the word Jews in the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we know that, given what we just read thus far, the Jews are just short for Judah. It's not Jewish. It's not have anything to do with religion. It's just who they are as a people. But today, they don't look at it that way. Go ahead, verse 7.
2 Kings chapter 16, verse 7. So Ahaz sent messengers to Tiglath-Pileser, king of Assyria, saying, I am thy servant and thy son. Come up and save me out of the hand of the king of Syria, and out of the hand of the king of Israel, which rise up against me.
Mm-hmm.
And Ahaz took the silver and gold that was found in the house of Yahweh and in the treasures of the king's house, and sent it for a present to the king of Assyria.
Mm-hmm.
And the king of Assyria hearkened unto him, for the king of Assyria went up against Damascus and took it, and carried the people of it captive to Kir, and slew Rezin. And King Ahaz went to Damascus to meet Tiglath-Pileser, king of Assyria, and saw an altar that was at Damascus. And King Ahaz sent to Uriah the priest the fashion of the altar, and the pattern of it, according to all the workmanship thereof. And Uriah the priest built an altar, according to all that King Ahaz had sent from Damascus. So Uriah the priest made it against King Ahaz come from Damascus. And when the king was come from Damascus, the king saw the altar, and the king approached to the altar and offered thereon. And he burned his burnt offering and his meal offering, and poured his drink offering, and sprinkled the blood of his peace offerings upon the altar. And he brought also the brazen altar, which was before Yahweh, from the forefront of the house, from between the altar and the house of Yahweh, and put it on the north side of the altar.
Mm-hmm.
And King Ahaz commanded Uriah the priest, saying, Upon the great altar burn the morning burnt offering, and the evening meal offering, and the king's burnt sacrifice, and his meal offering, with the burnt offering of all the people of the land, and their meal offering, and their drink offerings, and sprinkle upon it all the blood of the burnt offering, and all the blood of the sacrifice. And the brazen altar shall be for me to inquire by.
Mm-hmm.
Thus did Uriah the priest, according to all that King Ahaz commanded. And King Ahaz cut off the borders of the bases, and removed the laver from off them, and took down the seat from off the brazen oxen that were on it, and put it upon a pavement of stones.
Mm-hmm.
And the covert for the Sabbath that they had built in the house, and the king's entry without, turned he from the house of Yahweh for the king of Assyria.
He's just going ass backwards, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
He's not even using Yahweh's altar. He's going up to the high places, worshiping other gods, and I think it said that he offered up his child to sacrifice. And he took the sketch, the design from an altar he got up from Assyria and brought it down to Jerusalem, and now he's just turning this thing. It's like he's defiling the priesthood. Go ahead, Brother Chapman.
2 Kings chapter 16, verse 19. Now the rest of the acts of Ahaz, which he did, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the Kings of Yehudah? And Ahaz slept with his fathers and was buried with his fathers in the city of David, and Hezekiah his son reigned in his stead. In the 12th year of Ahaz, king of Yehudah, began Hoshea the son of Elah to reign in Samaria over Israel 9 years.
Mm-hmm.
And he did that which was evil in the sight of Yahweh, but not as the kings of Israel that were before him.
Mm-hmm.
Against him came up Shalmaneser, king of Assyria, and Hoshea became his servants and gave him presents.
Mm-hmm.
And the king of Assyria found conspiracy in Hoshea, for he had sent messengers to So, king of Egypt, and brought no present to the king of Assyria, as he had done year by year. Therefore the king of Assyria shut him up and bound him in prison. Then the king of Assyria came up throughout all the land, and went up to Samaria, and besieged it 3 years. In the 9th year of Hoshea, the king of Assyria took Samaria, and carried Israel away into Assyria, and placed them in Halah and in Habah by the river Gozan, and in the cities of the Medes.
Now, this is he took them out of the land, out of Samaria, and hadn't seen them since. Go ahead, Brother Tucker.
2 Kings chapter 17, verse 7. For so it was that the children of Israel had sinned against Yahweh their Elohim, which had brought them up out of the land of Egypt, from under the hand of Pharaoh king of Egypt, and had feared other gods, and walked in the statutes of the heathen, whom Yahweh cast out from before the children of Israel, and of the kings of Israel, which they had made.
Mm-hmm.
And the children of Israel did secretly those things that were not right against Yahweh their Elohim, and they built them high places in all their cities, from the tower of the watchman to the fenced city. And they set up images and groves in every high hill, and under every green tree. And there they burned incense in all the high places, as did the heathen, whom Yahweh carried away before them, and wrought wicked things to provoke Yahweh to anger.
Mm-hmm.
For they served idols, whereof Yahweh had said unto them, You shall not do this thing.
Mm.
Yet Yahweh testified against Israel and against Yehudah by all the prophets and by all the seers, saying, Turn you from your evil ways, and keep my commandments and my statutes, according to all the law which I commanded your fathers, and which I sent to you by my servants the prophets.
Mm-hmm.
Notwithstanding, they would not hear, but hardened their necks, like to the neck of their fathers that did not believe in Yahweh their Elohim. And they rejected his statutes and his covenant that he made with their fathers, and his testimonies which he testified against them. And they followed vanity, and became vain, and went after the heathen that were round about them, concerning whom Yahweh had charged them that they should not do like them. And they left all the commandments of Yahweh their Elohim, and made them molten images, even 2 calves, and made a grove, and worshiped all the hosts of heaven, and served Baal. And they caused their sons and their daughters to pass through the fire, and use divination and enchantments, and sold themselves to do evil in the sight of Yahweh, to provoke him to anger. Therefore Yahweh was very angry with Israel, and removed them out of his sight. There was none left but the tribe of Yehudah only. Also Yehudah kept not the commandments of Yahweh their Elohim, but walked in the statutes of Israel which they made. And Yahweh rejected all the seed of Israel, and afflicted them, and delivered them into the hand of spoilers, until he had cast them out of his sight. For he rent Israel from the house of David, and they made Jeroboam the son of Nebat king, and Jeroboam drave Israel from following Yahweh, and made them sin a great sin. For the children of Israel walked in all the sins which Jeroboam For the children of Israel walked in all the sins of Jeroboam, which he did. They departed not from them until Yahweh removed Israel out of his sight, as he had said by all his servants, the prophets. So was Israel carried away out of their own land to Assyria unto this day. And the king of Assyria brought men from Babylon, and from Cuthah, and from Ava, and from Hamath, and from Sephar, Baam, and placed them in the cities of Samaria instead of the children of Israel. And they possessed Samaria and dwelt in the cities thereof. And so it was at the beginning of their dwelling there, that they feared not Yahweh. Therefore Yahweh sent lions among them, which slew some of them. Wherefore they spake to the king of Assyria, saying, the nations which thou hast removed and placed in the cities of Samaria know not the manner of the God of the land. Therefore he hath sent lions among them, and behold, they slay them, because they know not the manner of the God of the land.
So look how they regard what they're going through. That's the God of the land. So they're referring to what their own experience with their God, is that he's God of the tree, God of the land, God of the water, God of vegetation, all those types of different gods. So they think that that's what's going on with them now, because the lions are eating them up. So they say, well, we need to find out about the God of this land. Go ahead, Brother Stephen.
Chapter 17, verse 27. Then the king of Assyria commanded, saying, carry thither one of the priests whom you brought from thence, and let them go and dwell there, and let him teach them the manner of the God of the land. Then one of the priests whom they had carried away from Samaria came and dwelt in Bethel, and taught them how they should fear Yahweh. Howbeit every nation made gods of their own, and put them in the houses of the high places, which the Samaritans had made, every nation in their cities wherein they dwelt.
Now in verse 27, it says, then the king of Assyria commanded, saying, carry thither one of the priests whom you brought from thence, and let them go and dwell there, and let them teach them the manner of the God of the land. Now, are these Yahweh's priests, or are they Jeroboam's priests? Remember when the kingdom was split up? Jeroboam set up his own priests of the Lord's sort of God. Remember that?
Yeah.
So that was the priest he was referring to. He ain't talking about Levi. Because at this point, Levi has already come back into the land, into Judah, where the temple is. Right? You go up there, and I think it's in 1 Kings chapter 12. And then 1 Chronicles chapter 11, where you have Jeroboam kicking them out the priesthood, and they came back south to Judah. So this priest here is one of the priests of Jeroboam. Go ahead, Brother Stephen.
2 Kings chapter 17, verse 30. And the men of Babylon made Sukkoth Benoth, and the men of Cuth made Nergal, and the men of Hamath made Ashima, and the Avites made Nibhaz and Tartak, and the Sepharvites burnt their children in the fire to Adremelech and Anamelech, the gods of Sepharvaim. So they feared Yahweh and made unto themselves of the lowest of them priests of the high places, which sacrificed for them in the houses of the high places. They feared Yahweh and served their own gods after the manner of the nations whom they carried away from thence.
Now, does that not sound familiar? It's the same thing that we're dealing with here in America.
Mm-hmm.
Because here it says, verse 32, so they feared Yahweh and made unto themselves of the lords of them priests of the high places, sacrifice for them in the house of their high places. So they feared Yahweh, but they still worship their gods. So we got the same thing with Christianity, except that they don't even mention Yahweh. They made them a new god. So go ahead, Brother Stephen.
2 Kings chapter 17, verse 34.
Mm-hmm.
Until this day they do after the former manners. They fear not Yahweh, neither do they after their statutes, or after their ordinance, or after the law and commandment, which Yahweh commanded the children of Jacob, whom he named Israel, with whom Yahweh had made a covenant and charged them, saying, You shall not fear other gods, nor bow yourselves to them, nor serve them, nor sacrifice to them, but Yahweh, who brought you up out of the land of Egypt with great power and a stretched out arm, him shall you fear, and him shall you worship, and to him shall you do sacrifice. And the statutes and the ordinances and the law and the commandment which he wrote for you, you shall observe to do forevermore, and you shall not fear other gods.
In verse 37, that's very key. He says, and the statutes and the ordinances, and the law, and the commandments, which he wrote for you, you shall observe and do forevermore. And you shall not fear other gods. So these commandments are forever. Go ahead, Brother Stephen. Well, let me put it like this. Let me say it. Not one jot or one tittle of the law shall pass, shall all be fulfilled. So that there will come a time when some of this will be fulfilled. Yeah. Go ahead, Brother Stephen.
Verse 2 Kings chapter 17, verse 38. And the covenant that I have made with you, you shall not forget, neither shall you fear other gods. But Yahweh your Elohim you shall fear, and he shall deliver you out of the hand of all your enemies. Howbeit, they did not hearken, but they did after their former manner. So these nations feared Yahweh and served their graven images, both their children and their children's children, as did their fathers, so do they unto this day.
Now, keep in mind, these people here will be considered the progenitors of the Samaritans that we read about in the Gospels. So that Samaritan woman in John chapter 4 that was standing by the well, she would have came out of these people, except, remember what they said, they feared Yahweh, but they worship other gods, their own gods? Well, they knew the history because they had gotten one of the priests of the lower class to teach them about the God of the land. And so with that, they had that knowledge of the God of the land, and they had that knowledge of them being from other lands. But this woman at the well knew she was a Samaritan, maybe because she was born of a Samaritan, but nevertheless she knew the history of the land. Go ahead, Brother Shep.
2 Kings chapter 18, verse 1. Now it came to pass in the 3rd year of Hoshea, son of Elah, king of Israel, that Hezekiah, the son of Ahaz, king of Yehuda, began to reign.
Mm-hmm.
25 years old was he when he began to reign, and he reigned 29 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name also was Abi, the daughter of Zechariah.
Now, let's look at that again. You notice in verse 2, it says 25 years old was he when he began to reign, right? But when you go back to 2 Kings 17, 2 Kings 16, you read in verse 2, it says 20 years old was Ahaz when he began to reign, and reigned 16 years in Jerusalem, and did not that which was right in the sight of Yahweh his Elohim, like David his father. So Ahaz, Hezekiah's daddy, was 20 years old, and he reigned 16 years, and so he was 36 years old when he died. Now Hezekiah is 25 years old.
Mm-hmm.
How is that possible?
Yeah, so you had the boy when he was 11 years old.
Yeah, 11 years old. How is that possible?
There's an error there somewhere, huh?
Huh?
There's an error there somewhere, right?
Well, if you look right at it, Ahaz had to have had Hezekiah before he became king.
Okay.
So Ahaz had to be around 15 years old. That would give more time for Hezekiah to be born.
Oh, yeah.
So he wouldn't necessarily be 11 years old. He had Hezekiah maybe when he was a teenager, around about 15 to 16. That's why he can be 25 years old here, because he reigned 16 years. Ahaz reigned 16 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he was already born before he began to reign. So that's the extra time. That now it makes sense. It balances out that even though Hezekiah was 25 years old, he still, if you do the math on it, Ahaz should have been 11. But if you look at the fact that Ahaz became king when he was 20, right? But that doesn't mean that Hezekiah wasn't already born. So now you can get back to say, well, he's 15 years older.
Oh, okay, I got you.
You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Instead of 11 years old, you put 15 there. Now it balances out. Now he can be 25 years old because he was already born before he became king. Okay? Go ahead, brother. Read those two verses again. Oh, you writing that down?
You know I got to write something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
put some
appreciate
notes
it
in my phone.
because I'm going to forget it. Go ahead.
2 Kings chapter 18, verse 1. Now it came to pass in the 3rd year of Hoshea, son of Elah, king of Israel, that Hezekiah, the son of Ahaz, king of Yehuda, began to reign. 25 years old was he when he began to reign, and he reigned 29 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name also was Abi, the daughter of Zechariah.
Mm-hmm.
And he did that which was right in the sight of Yahweh, according to all that David his father did.
Mm.
He removed the high places and brake the images and cut down the groves and brake in pieces the brazen serpent that Moshe had made. For unto those days the children of Israel did burn incense to it, and he called it Nehushtan.
Now, you see what they did with that brazen serpent? They turned it into a god. They didn't just about do anything to well, you look at the miracles that brazen serpent was responsible for, and so they probably saw some kind of power in that brazen altar, that brazen serpent, and so they kept it and worshipped it. But here we have Hezekiah taking it out of there because it was an idol. They made it into an idol. Go ahead, brother.
2 Kings chapter 18, verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
He trusted in Yahweh Elohim of Israel, so that after him was none like him among all the kings of Yehuda, nor any that were before him. For he clave to Yahweh, and departed not from following him, but kept his commandments, which Yahweh commanded Moshe. And Yahweh was with him, and he prospered whithersoever he went forth. And he rebelled against the king of Assyria, and served him not. He smote the Philistines, even unto Gaza, and the borders thereof, from the tower of the watchman to the fenced city. And it came to pass in the 4th year of King Hezekiah, which was the 7th year of Hoshea, son of Elah, king of Israel, that Shalmaneser, king of Assyria, came up against Samaria and besieged it. And at the end of 3 years they took it, even in the 6th year of Hezekiah, that is the 9th year of Hoshea, king of Israel, Samaria was taken. And the king of Assyria did carry away Israel unto Assyria, and put them in Halah and in Habor by the river of Gozan, and in the cities of the Medes, because they obeyed not the voice of Yahweh their Elohim, but transgressed his covenant, and all that Moshe the servant of Yahweh commanded, and would not hear them nor do them. Now in the 14th year of King Hezekiah did Sennacherib, king of Assyria, come up against all the fenced cities of Yehuda, and took them.
Let me read, let's look at verse 11 and 12 again. And the king of Assyria did carry away Israel from Assyria unto Assyria, and put them in Halah and Habor, and by the river of Gozan, and the cities of the Russians, because they obeyed not the voice of Yahweh the Elohim, but transgressed his covenant with all that Moshe the servant of Yahweh commanded, would not hear them nor do them. Now, what's happened here is written down in the curses. So they're being taken out of the land. Yahweh said that you don't keep my commandments, you're going to be cursed. So what we're seeing here, that Yahweh brought the nations in on our people and took them out the land, and by refusing to keep the commandments, they became cursed. Same thing here in America. When black people refuse to keep the commandments, they don't know they're being cursed, but they're being cursed. No matter what they do or say, they are being cursed. They don't know they're being cursed, though. Go ahead, Brother Stephen.
2 Kings chapter 18, read 13 again. Now in the 14th year of King Hezekiah did Sennacherib, king of Assyria, come up against all the fenced cities of Yehuda, and took them. And Hezekiah, king of Yehuda, sent to the king of Assyria to Lachish, saying, I have offended. Return from me. That which thou puttest on me will I bear. And the king of Assyria appointed unto Hezekiah, king of Yehuda, 300 talents of silver and 30 talents of gold. And Hezekiah gave him all the silver that was found in the house of Yahweh and in the treasures of the king's house. At that time did Hezekiah cut off the gold from the doors of the temple of Yahweh, and from the pillars which Hezekiah, king of Yehuda, had overlaid, and gave it to the king of Assyria. And the king of Assyria sent Tartan and Rapsaris and Rapshakeh from Lachish to King Hezekiah with a great host against Jerusalem. And they went up and came to Jerusalem, and when they were come up, they came and stood by the conduit of the upper pool, which is in the highway of the fuller's field. And when they had called to the king, there came out to them Eliakim, the son of Hilkiah, which was over the household, and Shebna the scribe, and Joah the son of Asaph the recorder. And Rapshakeh said unto them, Speak you now to Hezekiah, thus saith the great king, the king of Assyria, What confidence is this wherein thou trustest? Thou sayest, But they are but vain words. I have counsel and strength for the war. Now on whom dost thou trust, that thou rebellest against me? Now behold, thou trustest upon the staff of this bruised reed, even upon Egypt, on which if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it. So is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, unto all that trust on him. But if you say unto me, we trust in Yahweh our God, is not that he whose high places and whose altars Hezekiah has taken away, and have said to Yehuda and Jerusalem, you shall worship before this altar in Jerusalem.
Mm-hmm.
Now therefore I pray thee, give pledges to my master the king of Assyria, and I will deliver thee 2,000 horses, if thou be able on thy part to set riders upon them. How then wilt thou turn away the face of one captain of the least of my master's servants, and put thy trust on Egypt for chariots and for horsemen? Am I not come up without Yahweh against this place to destroy it? Yahweh said to me, go up against this land and destroy it. Then said Elohim, the son of Hilkiah, and Shebna, and Yoah, unto Rabshakeh, speak, I pray thee, to thy servants in the Syrian language, for we understand it, and talk not with us in the Jews' language in the ears of the people that are on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
But Rabshakeh said unto them, has my master sent me to thy master and to thee to speak these words? Has he not sent me to the men which sit on the wall, that they may eat their own dung and drink their own piss with you? Then Rabshakeh stood and cried with a loud voice in the Jews' language, and spake, saying, hear the word of the great king, the king of Assyria. Thus saith the king, let not Hezekiah deceive you, for he shall not be able to deliver you out of his hand. Neither let Hezekiah make you trust in Yahweh, saying, Yahweh will surely deliver us, and this city shall not be delivered into the hand of the king of Assyria.
Now, let me ask here, in verse 28, it says, then Rabshakeh stood and cried with a loud voice in the Jews' language, and they asked him not to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But he did it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So, yourself, what's the Jews' language?
Don't know.
You don't know? Sister E, what's the Jews' language?
Hebrew?
That's right, Sister E. That's right.
I think Yosef, no, he was just a little stunned. I know he had to know that.
Who's?
Yosef.
Caught him off guard?
Yeah. I think
He probably knew, I just hit him at the wrong time.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Steve.
2 Kings chapter 18, verse 31.
No, you.
30.
Yeah, 31.
Okay. 2 Kings chapter 18, verse 31. Hearken not to Hezekiah, for thus saith the king of Assyria, make an agreement with me by a present, and come out to me, and then eat you every man of his own vine, and every one of his fig tree, and drink you every one the waters of his system, until I come and take you away to a land like your own land, a land of grain and wine, a land of bread and vineyards, a land of all olives and of honey, that you may live and not die. And hearken not unto Hezekiah when he persuaded you, saying, Yahweh will deliver us. Has any of the gods of the nations delivered at all his land out of the hand of the king of Assyria? Where are the gods of Hamath and of Arpad? Where are the gods of Sepharvaim, Hena, and Iva? Have they delivered Samaria out of mine hand? Who are they among all the gods of the countries that have delivered their country out of mine hand, that Yahweh should deliver Jerusalem out of mine hand? But the people held their peace and answered him not a word, for the king's commandment was, saying, answer him not. Then came Elohim the son of Hilkiah, which was over the household, and Shebna the scribe, and Yoel the son of Asaph the recorder, to Hezekiah with their clothes rent, and told him the words of Rabshakeh. And it came to pass, when King Hezekiah heard it, that he rent his clothes and covered himself with sackcloth and went into the house of Yahweh. And he sent Eliakim, which was over the household, and Shebna the priest, Shebna the scribe, and the elders of the priests, covered with sackcloth, to Esaias the prophet of the son of Amos. And they said unto him, Thus saith Hezekiah, this day is a day of trouble and of rebuke and blasphemy. For the children are come to the birth, and there is not strength to bring forth. It may be, Yahweh thy Elohim will hear all the words of Rabshakeh, whom the king of Assyria, his master, have sent to reproach the living Elohim, and will reprove the words which Yahweh thy Elohim have heard. Wherefore, lift up thy prayer for the remnant that are left. So the servants of King Hezekiah came to Esaias, and Esaias said unto them, Thus shall you say to your master, Thus saith Yahweh, Be not afraid of the words which thou hast heard, with which the servants of the king of Assyria have blasphemed me. Behold, I will send a blast upon him, and he shall hear a rumor, and shall return to his own land. And I will cause him to fall by the sword in his own land. So Rabshakeh returned and found the king of Assyria warring against Libnah, for he had heard that he was departed from Lachish. And when he heard say of Tirhakah, king of Ethiopia, Behold, he has come out to fight against thee, he sent messengers again to Hezekiah, saying, Thus shall you speak to Hezekiah, king of Yehudah, saying, Let not thy God, in whom thou trustest, deceive thee, saying, Jerusalem shall not be delivered into the hand of the king of Assyria. Behold, thou hast heard what the kings of Assyria have done to all lands, by destroying them utterly, and shall thou be delivered? Has the gods of the nations delivered them which my fathers have destroyed, as Gozan and Haran and Recep and the children of Edom, which are in Thalasar? Where is the king of Hamath, and the king of Arpad, and the king of the city of Sepharvaim, of Hena and Ivah? And Hezekiah received the letter of the hands of the messengers and read it. And Hezekiah went up into the house of Yahweh and spread it before Yahweh. And Hezekiah prayed before Yahweh and said, O Yahweh Elohim of Israel, which dwelleth between the cherubims, thou art the God, even thou alone of all the kingdoms of the earth. Thou hast made heaven and earth. Yahweh, bow down thine ear and hear. Open, Yahweh, thine eyes and see, and hear the words of Sennacherib, which have sent him to reproach the living Elohim. Of a truth, Yahweh, the kings of Assyria have destroyed the nations and their lands, and have cast their gods into the fire, for they were no gods, but the work of men's hands, wood and stone, therefore they have destroyed them. Now therefore, O Yahweh, our Elohim, I beseech thee, save thou us out of his hand, that all the kingdoms of the earth may know that thou art Yahweh Elohim, even thou only. Then Esaias, the son of Amos, sent to Hezekiah, saying, Thus saith Yahweh Elohim of Israel, that which thou hast prayed to me against Sennacherib, king of Assyria, I have heard. This is the word that Yahweh has spoke concerning him. The virgin, the daughter of Zion, have despised thee and laughed thee to scorn. The daughter of Jerusalem hath shaken her head at thee. Whom hast thou reproached and blasphemed, and against whom hast thou exalted thy voice, and lifted up thine eyes on high, even against the Holy One of Israel? By thy messengers thou hast reproached Yahweh, and hast said, With the multitude of my chariots I am come up to the height of the mountains, to the sides of Lebanon, and will cut down the tall cedar trees thereof, and the choice fir trees thereof. And I will enter into the lodgings of his borders, and into the forests of his Carmel. I have digged and drunk strange waters, And with the sole of my feet have I dried up all the rivers of besieged places. Hast thou not heard long ago how I have done it, and of ancient times that I have formed it? Now have I brought it to pass that thou shouldest be to lay waste spent cities into ruinous heaps. Therefore their inhabitants were of small power. They were dismayed and confounded. They were as the grass of the field, and as the green herb, as the grass on the housetop, and as grain blasted before it be grown up. But I know thy abode, and thy going out, and thy coming in, and thy rage against me. Because thy rage against me, and thy tumult is come up into mine ears, therefore I will put my hook in thy nose, and my bridle in thy lips, and I will turn thee back by the way by which thou camest. And this shall be a sign unto thee. You shall eat this year such things as grow of themselves, and in the second year that which springeth of the same, and in the third year sow you, and reap, and plant vineyards, and eat the fruits thereof. And the remnant that is escaped of the house of Yehudah shall yet again take root downward, and bear fruit upward. For out of Jerusalem shall go forth a remnant, and they that escape out of Mount Zion. The zeal of Yahweh of hosts shall do this. Therefore thus saith Yahweh concerning the king of Assyria, he shall not come into this city, nor shoot an arrow there, nor come before it with shield, nor cast a bank against it. By the way that he came, by the same shall he return, and shall not come into this city, saith Yahweh. For I will defend this city to save it for mine own sake, and for my servant David's sake. And it came to pass that night that the angel of Yahweh went out and smote in the camp of the Assyrians 185,000. And when they arose early in the morning, behold, they were all dead corpses. So Sennacherib, king of Assyria, departed and went and returned and dwelt at Nineveh. And it came to pass, as he was worshiping in the house of Nisroch, his god, that Adrammelech and Sharezer, his sons, smote him with the sword, and they escaped into the land of Armenia, and Esarhaddon, his son, reigned in his stead.
So he paid the price for threatening Yahweh's people, telling Yahweh's people that don't rely on Yahweh, because he can't help you. Then other gods help them other people? No. So I expect Yahweh to help you. Go ahead, Brother Stephen.
2 Kings chapter 20, verse 1. In those days was Hezekiah sick unto death, and the prophet Isaiah the son of Amos came to him and said unto him, Thus saith Yahweh, set thine house in order, for thou shalt die and not live. Then he turned his face to the wall and prayed unto Yahweh, saying, I beseech thee, O Yahweh, remember now how I have walked before thee in truth and with a perfect heart, and have done that which is good in thy sight. And Hezekiah wept sore. And it came to pass, afore Isaiah was gone out into the middle court, that the word of Yahweh came to him, saying, Turn again and tell Hezekiah, the captain of my people, Thus saith Yahweh, the Elohim of David thy father, I have heard thy prayer, I have seen thy tears. Behold, I will heal thee. On the third day thou shalt go up unto the house of Yahweh. And I will add unto thy days 15 years, and I will deliver thee and this city out of the hand of the king of Assyria. And I will defend this city for mine own sake, and for my servant David's sake. And Isaiah said, Take a lump of figs. And they took and laid it on the boil, and he recovered. And Hezekiah said unto Isaiah, What shall be the sign that Yahweh will heal me, and that I should go up into the house of Yahweh the third day? And Isaiah said, This sign shalt thou have of Yahweh, that Yahweh will do the thing that he has spoken. Shall the shadow go forward 10 degrees, or go back 10 degrees? And Hezekiah answered, It is a light thing for the shadow to go down 10 degrees. Nay, but let the shadow return backward 10 degrees. And he says, the prophet cried unto Yahweh, and he brought the shadow 10 degrees backward, by which it had gone down in the dial of Ahaz. At that time, Baladan, the son of Baladan, king of Babylon, sent letters and a present unto Hezekiah, for he had heard that Hezekiah had been sick. And Hezekiah hearkened unto them, and showed them all the house of his precious things, the silver and the gold, and the spices, and the precious ointment, and all the house of his armor, and all that was found in his treasures. There was nothing in his house, nor in all his dominion, that Hezekiah showed them not. Then came Esaias the prophet unto King Hezekiah, and said unto him, What said these men? And from whence came they unto thee? And Hezekiah said, They are come from a far country, even from Babylon. And he said, What have they seen in thine house? And Hezekiah answered, All the things that are in mine house have they seen. There is nothing among my treasures that I have not showed them. And Esaias said unto Hezekiah, Hear the word of Yahweh. Behold, the days come that all that is in thine house, and that which thy fathers have laid up in store unto this day, shall be carried into Babylon. Nothing shall be left, saith Yahweh. And of thy sons that shall issue from thee, which thou shalt beget, shall they take away, and they shall be eunuchs in the palace of the king of Babylon. Then said Hezekiah unto Esaias, Good is the word of Yahweh which thou hast spoken. And he said, Is it not good if peace and truth be in my days? And the rest of the acts of Hezekiah and all his might, and how he made a pool and a conduit and brought water into the city, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Yehudah? And Hezekiah slept with his fathers, and Manasseh his son reigned in his stead.
It's kind of cold-hearted for him to rejoice, because all the things that Isaiah told was going to happen, not going to happen in his days. But it's something else that caught my eye, is when Hezekiah was about to die. And Isaiah said, Get your house in order, because you're going to die. All right? So what Hezekiah did was he cried unto Yahweh. He prayed unto Yahweh. He said, I did all these good things, now you're going to kill me. Then they put me in the mouth of Ahab.
Yeah.
Right? Because Elijah, in 1 Kings chapter 21, I'll pick this up at verse 25. Now remember, Hezekiah cried. Yahweh added 15 years to him, right?
Right.
In verse 25 in 1 Kings 21, but there was none like unto Ahab, which did sell himself to work wickedness in the sight of Yahweh, whom Jezebel his wife stirred up. And he did very abominably in following idols, according to all things as did the Amorites, whom Yahweh cast out before the children of Israel. And it came to pass, when Ahab heard those words, that he rent his clothes and put sackcloth upon his flesh and fasted, and lay in sackcloth and went softly. And the word of Yahweh came to Elijah the Tishbite, saying, Seest thou how Ahab humbleth himself before me? Because he humbleth himself before me, I will not bring the evil in his days, but in his son's days will I bring the evil upon his house. So it's something about crying unto Yahweh. When you're at your lowest, he hear you. Because what that means is your soul is being afflicted. But go ahead, Brother Stephen.
And one thing about it, he didn't care nothing about us.
Why you say that?
He was talking about it. It's all right to be good and peace in his day, just like
Oh.
they said up in the New Testament. Let his blood be on us and our children. He didn't care nothing about it.
Yeah,
People didn't care nothing about us.
I know, brother.
But if they could have just opened that door a little bit, saw us walking around with our pants down. I mean, prophecy had to come to pass. I get that, but they didn't care.
They couldn't see what we see now.
Yeah.
They couldn't imagine the descendants walking around with their pants sagging. I mean, these are our fathers here. We're ancient people, and you walk around with your pants sagging. You're shaking of the head to people.
But you know what? We could tell them if they would stick, if we saw them and say, you know what, you wasn't here. You wasn't in the 21st century, so you don't know why they did it. Like you say, we wasn't back there with them.
No.
We don't know why they did what they did.
No, but they didn't do it better. We do it
No,
now.
no.
I'm pretty sure that it would shake them up when they have that worshiping ball. They shake them up seeing what their children doing today.
Yep.
Said, we better stop worshiping ball. look how they send us. They got no sense. Go ahead, man.
2 Kings chapter 21, verse 1. Manasseh was 12 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 55 years in Jerusalem, and his mother's name was Hephzibah. And he did that which was evil in the sight of Yahweh, after the abominations of the heathen, whom Yahweh cast out before the children of Israel.
Mm-hmm.
For he built up again the high places which Hezekiah his father had destroyed, and he reared up altars for Baal, and made a grove, as did Ahab king of Israel, and worshipped all the hosts of heaven, and served them. And he built altars in the house of Yahweh, of which Yahweh said, in Jerusalem will I put my name.
Mm-hmm.
And he built altars for all the hosts of heaven in the two courts of the house of Yahweh. And he made his son pass through the fire, and observed times, and used enchantments, and dealt with familiar spirits and wizards. He wrought much wickedness in the sight of Yahweh, to provoke him to anger.
Mm-hmm.
And he set a graven image of the grove that he had made in the house, of which Yahweh said to David and to Shlomo his son, in this house and in Jerusalem, which I have chosen out of all the tribes of Israel, will I put my name forever. Neither will I make the feet of Israel move any more out of the land which I gave their fathers, only if they will observe to do according to all that I have commanded them, and according to all the law that my servant Moshe commanded them.
Mm-hmm.
But they hearkened not, and Manasseh seduced them to do more evil than all the nations whom Yahweh destroyed before the children of Israel.
So he's doing worse than his grandfather. Mm-hmm. Remember who his grandfather is? Who was his grandfather? Nobody knows? Well, his father was Hezekiah, right?
Right.
So who's Hezekiah's father? Ahaz.
Yeah, we just read it. Just read it.
So we're looking at Manasseh's grandfather is Ahaz.
Mm-hmm.
All right, go ahead.
So, Elder, that verse 21, verse 8, that pertains to us, right?
Chapter 21, verse 8.
Mm-hmm.
It says, neither will I make the feet of Israel move anymore out of the land which I gave their fathers, only they will observe to do according to all that I have commanded them, according to all the law that my servant Moshe commanded them.
Is that future? That pertains to us?
That goes all the way back to the law,
Okay.
right?
But that applies to us also, right?
Right.
Okay.
The thing is, that falls with us, it fell into the realm of curses.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Right, because it said, only if they will observe to do according to all that I have commanded them, and according to all the law that my servant Moshe commanded them. So they didn't keep the law.
So that applies to all the generations, right?
all the generations
Okay,
since.
I got you.
But the thing about that is, I noticed that Yahweh destroyed Jerusalem, but they were keeping the law.
Mm-hmm.
But then the overall picture is that Jerusalem had to be destroyed because they had gotten off into Judaism. They had the Roman Empire ruling over them, and plus the rest of the prophecies had to be fulfilled, because he said he was going to plow Jerusalem like a field.
Mm-hmm.
And so now that really happened twice under the Babylonians, under the Romans. So that last time, in 70 AD, we got kicked out of the land because the Mashiach, the prophecy concerning the Mashiach had been fulfilled. So no need for the Jews to stay in the land. So he kicked us out of the land, so the rest of these prophecies can be fulfilled, so that we could go back into Egypt again on slave ships. They had to be fulfilled too. And we had to fear, we would say, with Elohim it was morning, or with Elohim it was evening,
Mhm.
right? But that didn't happen until we got here.
Right.
Right, so we were scared to death. So all those things had to come to pass, but what we have here, it came to pass over generations, over years. We're looking at hundreds of years that had to take place. So by the time the rest of the curses had kicked in, we were here in America as slaves, just like the curse said that we would be. But now that Yahweh opened up the book to us, we see now that Yahweh put it in us to let us know it's almost time to go back home.
Mm-hmm.
You look at what Trump is doing. He's scaring everybody, bro. He got everybody mad at him.
Yeah, no, I'm not. It's very interesting.
They ain't never seen a president do what he doing, man.
No.
He goes, he say, I'm taking Greenland. Ain't nothing you can do to stop me.
I saw today one of those journalists said the things he doing, the other president didn't even think about it.
Right.
So they didn't. It went in their mind.
They didn't think in those terms. You got to understand something. Trump is a hustler, right? He's a businessman. He knows how to handle it. He sees opportunities everywhere. So he make them moves, make sure he got all the ducks in a row. He tell them, say, if you don't give me Greenland, I'm gonna put the tariffs on you. Now they scared.
And piss Europe off, and Europe
Yeah.
and them Chinese. So they trying to take their cars and send them to Canada, route to Canada over here. Trump said that ain't gonna work. Said the cars come from China.
Right.
That ain't gonna fly.
And then he's snatching oil tankers. He taking them out the ocean, man. They trying to get around in the Caribbean. He's sitting there waiting on them. Taking these people oil, bro. They need their oil to run the economy, and Trump is taking it. That's a gangster, bro. That's a gangster. So you got to pay him protection money for now.
Yeah, Trump is a pit bull. He'll fight what they call it, what they say that hacksaw and get the first 2 rounds. He don't care.
Yeah, well, the man's 78 years old, bro. So he's gonna go out with a bang. So who cares? Go ahead, man.
Old girl gave up her award to him, didn't she?
Huh?
Old girl gave her award up to him.
Who?
The Venezuela president, the woman.
Oh yeah. She gonna do what?
She gave her award to him that
No, that wasn't her. That was the one that's running for president.
yeah, Trump
And
said
Maduro beat her. Well, he didn't beat her. He just took it from her.
right.
Right, but the vice president is another woman.
Right, that's what she said. But she won the Nobel Peace Prize.
No, it wasn't her.
The one on her?
No, it's the one that's running for president.
Okay.
That he beat her out of. She won the Peace Prize, a Nobel Peace Prize, because Maduro took the president from her.
Okay.
Right, he chose his own vice president. So Trump is dealing with the vice president of Venezuela, not the one that gave him a peace award.
Okay.
That's but the thing about that, the Nobel Peace Prize is not transferable.
Right.
Trump said he'd make a president if she gave the award.
He want that Nobel Peace Prize though.
He accepted it too. He took that award.
Yeah.
He'll pay for it if you get it, can't he?
Hey, man, ain't nobody. I'd be with a billionaire, man. What you want? You know, he ain't like y'all. Go ahead, man.
2 Kings chapter 21 verse 10. And Yahweh spake by his servants the prophets, saying, because Manasseh king of Yehuda have done these abominations, and have done wickedly above all the Amorites did, which were before him, and have made Yehuda also to sin with his idols. Therefore thus saith Yahweh Elohim of Israel, Behold, I am bringing such evil upon Jerusalem and Yehuda, that whosoever heareth of it, both his ears shall tingle. And I will stretch over Jerusalem the line of Samaria, and the plummet of the house of Ahab, and I will wipe Jerusalem as a man wipeth a dish, wiping it and turning it upside down. And I will forsake the remnant of mine inheritance, and deliver them into the hand of their enemies, and they shall become a prey and a spoil to all their enemies, because they have done that which was evil in my sight, and have provoked me to anger since the day their fathers came forth out of Egypt, even unto this day. Moreover, Manasseh shed innocent blood very much, till he had filled Jerusalem from one end to another. Beside his sin, wherewith he made Yehuda to sin, in doing that which was evil in the sight of Yahweh. Now, the rest of the acts of Manasseh, and all that he did, and his sin that he sinned, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Yehuda? And Manasseh slept with his fathers, and was buried in the garden of his own house, in the garden of Uzzah, and Amon his son reigned in his stead.
Now, when you go back up into Chronicles, it tells a different story about Manasseh. Because it mentions all the wickedness that Manasseh did, but when he got in trouble, he prayed to Yahweh to forgive him about all the wickedness that he did, and they said, I think Yahweh forgave him, but that's in Chronicles. It doesn't say that like that here, which means there are two different people writing First and Second Kings and First and Second Chronicles, telling another side of the story. So it's almost like the Apocrypha, but they decided not to leave the Apocrypha in the Bible. They took it out because it really didn't match up with what the Bible was saying. But First and Second Kings and First and Second Chronicles don't match up either. It's like they're telling the same story, but in a different way. The characters are the same, but it's a side of the character that we did not know. Like for instance, in Chronicles, they don't mention Bathsheba at all. They don't mention Absalom. But we got it in Second Samuel. So again, we got two different writers here, two different authors here that are writing First and Second Samuel and First and Second Samuel, First and Second Kings, and First and Second Chronicles. We have two different people writing these books, but they still match up. It's just that it's something that was mentioned in Second Kings that are mentioned in First Chronicles, Second Chronicles. Like for instance, in First Kings, we hear that Shlomo was anointed, but we don't see it written down in First Kings. But when you go up into Chronicles, it tells you not only was Shlomo anointed, but he was anointed twice. So again, just show you two different authors are writing these particular history books. Go ahead, Brother Steph.
2 Kings chapter 21, verse 19.
Mm-hmm.
Amon was 22 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 2 years in Jerusalem, and his mother's name was Meshulameth, the daughter of Haruz of Yatbah. And he did that which was evil in the sight of Yahweh, as his father Manasseh did.
Mm-hmm.
And he walked in all the way that his father walked in, and served the idols that his father served, and worshipped them. And he forsook Yahweh Elohim of his fathers, and walked not in the way of Yahweh.
Mm-hmm.
And the servants of Ammon conspired against him, and slew the king in his own house.
Mm.
And the people of the land slew all them that had conspired against King Ammon. And the people of the land made Josiah his son king in his stead. Now the rest of the act of Ammon which he did, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Yehuda? And he was buried in his sepulchre in the garden of Uzzah, and Josiah his son reigned in his stead. Josiah was 8 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 31 years in Jerusalem, and his mother's name was Yedidah, the daughter of Adiah of Boscat. And he did that which was right in the sight of Yahweh, and walked in all the way of David his father, and turned not aside to the right hand or to the left. And it came to pass in the 18th year of King Josiah that the king sent Shaphan the son of Azaliah, the son of Meshullam, the scribe, to the house of Yahweh, saying, Go up to Hilkiah the high priest, that he may sum the silver which is brought into the house of Yahweh, which the keepers of the door have gathered of the people, and let them deliver it into the hand of the doers of the work that have the oversight of the house of Yahweh, and let them give it to the doers of the work which is in the house of Yahweh, to repair the breaches of the house, unto carpenters and builders and masons, and to buy timber and hewn stone to repair the house. Howbeit, there was no reckoning made with them of the money that was delivered into their hand, because they dealt faithfully. And Hilkiah the high priest said unto Shaphan the scribe, I have found a book of the law in the house of Yahweh. And Hilkiah gave the book to Shaphan, and he read it. And Shaphan the scribe came to the king, and brought the king word again, and said, Thy servants have gathered the money that was found in the house, and have delivered it into the hand of them that do the work, that have the oversight of the house of Yahweh. And Shaphan the scribe showed the king, saying, Hilkiah the priest have delivered me a book. And Shaphan read it before the king.
Now, which book did they find? You got 5 books. Which book did they find? You probably said, don't call on me, don't call on me. Don't call on me. Yourself. You don't know?
Yeah, that.
Huh?
I just have a comment right now.
You were doing what?
I have a comment.
You had the what now?
He said,
I
nothing coming.
have no comment.
Nothing coming?
No comment.
No
No
comment.
coming? Sister E, what book did they find?
The book of the law.
Yeah, well, we got 5 books in the law.
Oh.
Which book did they find? Let's name the books. You got Genesis, you got Exodus, you got Leviticus, you got
yeah.
Numbers, and you got Deuteronomy.
Deuteronomy.
Uh-oh.
There it is.
Deuteronomy.
Yes, sir.
That's what they found. Okay? Go ahead, Brother Stephen.
2 Kings chapter 22, verse 11. And it came to pass, when the king had heard the words of the book of the law, that he rent his clothes. And the king commanded Hilkiah the priest, and Ahikam the son of Shaphan, and Akbar the son of Micaiah, and Shaphan the scribe, and Asahiah a servant of the king, saying, Go you, inquire of Yahweh for me, and for the people, and for all Yehudah, concerning the words of this book that is found. For great is the wrath of Yahweh that is kindled against us, because our fathers have not hearkened unto the words of this book, to do according unto all that is written concerning us. So Hilkiah the priest, and Ahikam, and Akbar, and Shaphan, and Asahiah went unto Huldah the prophetess, the wife of Shalom, the son of Tikvah, the son of Harhas, keeper of the wardrobe, Now she dwelt in Jerusalem in the suburbs, and they communed with her. And she said unto them, Thus saith Yahweh Elohim of Israel, tell the man that sent you to me, thus saith Yahweh, behold, I will bring evil upon this place and upon the inhabitants thereof, even all the words of the book which the king of Yehuda have read, because they have forsaken me, and have burned incense unto other gods, that they might provoke me to anger with the works of their hands. Therefore my wrath shall be kindled against this place, and shall not be quenched. But to the king of Yehuda, which sent you to inquire of Yahweh, thus shall you say to him, Thus saith Yahweh Elohim of Israel, as touching the words which thou hast heard, because thine heart was tender, and thou hast humbled thyself before Yahweh, when thou heardest what I spake against this place, and against the inhabitants thereof, that they should become a desolation and a curse, and have rent your clothes, and wept before me, I also have heard thee, saith Yahweh. Behold, therefore, I will gather thee unto thy fathers, and thou shalt be gathered unto thy grave in peace, and thine eyes shall not see all the evil which I will bring upon this place. And they brought the king word again.
Now you notice what happened once again, that Josiah wept before Yahweh. Yahweh saw he wept before Yahweh, and he was humble. And so Yahweh said, I'm gonna let you die with the rest of these folks. Right, so that's another instance where Yahweh pay more attention to you when you see you got a broken heart and a contrite spirit. And you cry out to him, like looking at Hezekiah and Ahab, they humble themselves. So we got Josiah looking at Josiah the same way. Go ahead, Brother Jack.
2 Kings chapter 23, verse 1. And the king sent, and they gathered unto him all the elders of Yehuda and Jerusalem. And the king went up into the house of Yahweh, and all the men of Yehuda and all the inhabitants of Jerusalem with him, and the priests and the prophets, and all the people, both small and great. And he read in their ears all the words of the book of the covenant that was found in the house of Yahweh. And the king stood by a pillar and made a covenant before Yahweh to walk after Yahweh, and to keep his commandments and his testimonies and his statutes with all their heart and all their soul, to perform the words of this covenant that was written in this book, that were written in this book. And all the people stood to the covenant. And the king commanded Hilkiah the high priest, and the priests of the second order, and the keepers of the door to bring forth out of the temple of Yahweh all the vessels that were made for Baal and for the grove and for all the hosts of heaven. And he burned them without Jerusalem in the fields of Kidron, and carried the ashes of them unto Bethel.
In verse 4 it says, and the king commanded Hilkiah the high priest and the priests of the second order. Well, who are these people? Who are these priests? We got the high priest. Then you got the priests of the second order. Who are these priests of the second order? Who is he? Who is he?
And the Levites.
Yeah, I mean, but all Levites are not priests.
Yeah, I know.
So these are priests of the second order. So who are these priests?
Who are they?
Yeah.
Who are they?
Who are they?
Yeah.
These are the sons of Ithamar.
Oh, okay.
Remember?
Yeah.
Eleazar's brother?
Oh, yeah, because they handled the stuff in the temple.
Right.
Eventually, Ithamar, that priesthood went away, right? And we returned back to...
Eli's descendant that helped try to get Adonai to jack the kingdom from Shlomo. Yeah, Shlomo cast him out of the priesthood.
Yeah, they took, these are like the Kohathites and all them, they took care of the furniture and all that, and covered the Ark of the Covenant and all that stuff.
They was responsible for that because you got the sons of Gershom had the part of tabernacle. The sons of what's the other brother name? You got sons of Levi, Kohath, and I forgot Manasseh, not Manasseh. Some start with an M. Let me see. Let me see. I ain't even fooling around with this thing. You had the Kohathites.
Yeah, this 4B Ithamar, that's right.
Ithamar, yeah.
I can't say it.
They said
M-E-R-A-R-I.
Merari.
Merari. I
Yeah,
never would
that
thought
doesn't just roll off your tongue either.
Merari.
Then you had the Gershonites, the Gershon. So all these had a portion in handling that tabernacle, right? So the Kohathites had the holy things to take care of. When the priests covered them up before they saw them, they're the only ones that were given the responsibility for the holy things that go inside that tabernacle. But the rest of them had other parts of the tabernacle. Some had the curtains, some had the pillars. So they all had, it was a mobile home. So when it was trying to move, they would break that tabernacle down and start walking with it. Yeah. Go ahead, Brother Stephen.
2 Kings chapter 23, I started 4 again. And the king commanded Hilkiah the high priest and the priests of the second order and the keepers of the doors to bring forth out of the temple of Yahweh all the vessels that were made for Baal and for the grove and for all the hosts of heaven. And he burned them without Jerusalem in the fields of Kidron and carried the ashes of them unto Bethel. And he put down the idolatrous priests whom the kings of Yehuda had ordained to burn incense in the high places in the cities of Yehuda and in the places round about Jerusalem. Them also that burned incense unto Baal, to the sun, and to the moon, and to the constellations, and to all the hosts of heaven.
You see they put planets up in there? So you know who translated this book. Because our father didn't have that, didn't look at the world as planets.
No.
He looked at them stars as planets. And see, Steve said it the right way. They looked at, that should have been the word constellation. Because you're going to always have constellations up in the sky. They always come year by year, season by season, the same constellation. You'll be in the same position. They got so, they kept doing it so long that the Greeks and the Romans named some of their gods after them stars. That's why you got like Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. Yeah, well, they came from the Greeks and the Romans. Because they always were yearly phenomenon. They always come the same time every year. So they look at that, that go Orion, that go to Big Dipper, that go to Little Dipper, all those star constellations. They named them. But our father didn't name these stars.
Yeah.
Go ahead, brother.
That's what they named Wilt Chamberlain. Name him Big Dipper. You remember that?
Big Dipper.
Yeah, that was his
I
name.
don't remember that.
That was his nickname.
Oh. Well, that's appropriate. Yeah.
2 Kings chapter 23, verse 6. And he brought out the grove from the house of Yahweh without Jerusalem unto the brook Kidron, and burned it at the brook Kidron, and stamped it small to powder, and cast the powder thereof upon the graves of the children of the people. And he brake down the houses of the Sodomites that were by the house of Yahweh.
See? Right next to the temple. They got houses of Sodom. Like, what's wrong with our people, man? Read that again, brother.
And he brake down the houses of the Sodomites that were by the house of Yahweh, where the women wove hangings for the grove. And he brought all the priests out of the cities of Yehuda, and defiled the high places where the priests had burned incense from Jeba to Beersheba, and brake down the high places of the gate that were in the entering in of the gate of Joshua the governor of the city, which were on a man's left hand at the gate of the city. Nevertheless, the priests of the high places came not up to the altar of Yahweh in Jerusalem, but they did eat of the unleavened bread among their brethren. And he defiled Tophet, which is in the valley of the children of Hinnon, that no man might make his son or his daughter to pass through the fire to Molech. And he took away the horses that the kings of Yehuda had given to the sun at the entering in of the house of Yahweh by the chamber of Nathan Melech, the chamberlain, which was in the suburbs, and burned the chariots of sun with fire. And the altars that were on the top of the upper chamber of Ahaz, which the kings of Yehuda had made, and the altars which Manasseh had made in the two courts of the house of Yahweh, did the king beat down and break them down from thence, and cast the dust of them into the brook Kidron. And the high places that were before Jerusalem, which were on the right hand of the mount of corruption, where Shlomo the king of Israel had builded for Ashtoreth, the abomination of the Sidonians, and for Chemosh, the abominations of the Moabites, and for Milcom, the abomination of the children of Ammon, did the king defile. And he brake in pieces the images, and cut down the groves, and filled their places with the bones of men. Moreover, the altar that was at Bethel, and the high place which Jeroboam the son of Nebat, who made Israel to sin, had made, both that altar and the high place he brake down, and burned the high place, and stamped it small to powder, and burned the grove. And as Josiah turned himself, he spied the sepulchres that were there in the mount, and sent and took the bones out of the sepulchres, and burned them upon the altar, and polluted it, according to the word of Yahweh, which the man of Elohim proclaimed, who proclaimed these words. Then he said, what title is that I see? And the men of the city told him, it is the sepulchre of the man of Elohim, which came from Yehuda, and proclaimed these things that thou hast done against the altar of Bethel. And he said, let him alone, let no man move his bones. So they let his bones alone, with the bones of the prophet that came out of Samaria. And all the houses also of the high places that were in the cities of Samaria, which the kings of Israel had made to provoke Yahweh to anger, Josiah took away, and did to them according to all the acts that he had done in Bethel. And he slew all the priests of the high places that were there upon the altars, and burned men's bones upon them, and returned to Jerusalem. And the king commanded all the people, saying, keep the Passover unto Yahweh your Elohim, as it is written in the book of this covenant. Surely there was not holding such a Passover from the days of the judges that judged Israel, nor in all the days of the kings of Israel, nor of the kings of Yehuda. But in the 18th year of King Josiah, when this Passover was holden to Yahweh in Jerusalem. Moreover, the workers with familiar spirits, and the wizards, and the images, and the idols, and all the abominations that were spied in the land of Yehuda and in Jerusalem, did Josiah put away, that he might perform the words of the law, which were written in the book that Hilkiah the priest found in the house of Yahweh. And like unto him was there no king before him that turned to Yahweh with all his heart, and with all his soul, and with all his might, according to all the law of Moshe. Neither after him rose there any like him. Notwithstanding, Yahweh turned not from the fierceness of his great wrath, wherewith his anger was kindled against Yehuda, because of all the provocations that Manasseh had provoked him withal. And Yahweh said, I will remove Yehuda also out of my sight, as I have removed Israel, and will cast off this city Jerusalem, which I have chosen, and the house of which I said, my name shall be there.
Now, which one, which he's talking about? He's going to take his, he says, I will, in verse 27, Yahweh said, I will remove Judah also out of my sight, as I have removed Israel, and will cast off this city, Jerusalem, which I have chosen, and the house of which I said, my name shall be there. Now, when did he do that? When did he do that? He said, Yahweh said, I will remove Judah also out of my sight, as I have removed Israel, and will cast off this city, Jerusalem, which I have chosen, and the house which I have said, my name shall be there.
You talking about 70 AD?
No, that's too far.
That's what?
Because this Josiah,
Yeah, okay.
right?
I thought you were talking about future tense there.
Well, you got two destructions,
Yeah.
right? But he's referring to the coming destruction of Babylon.
Oh, the Babylonians, okay.
Okay, so Josiah is still king though.
Mm-hmm.
So his son will have to be on the throne when the Babylonians come in. So that would mean Zedekiah,
Okay,
the son of Josiah. That's when the Babylonians came on the scene
yeah.
and took the house of Judah into captivity for 70 years.
Yeah, he took Zedekiah, and they want to fall away to the
Right.
Babylonians, right?
Try to make a contract with the Egyptians, yeah, and didn't work out for him. Go ahead, Brother Stephen.
Now the rest of the acts of Josiah and all that he did, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the Kings of Yehudah? Verse 29. In his days, Pharaoh Necho, king of Egypt, went up against the king of Assyria to the river Euphrates, and the king Josiah and King Josiah went against him, and he slew him at Megiddo when he had seen him. And his servants carried him in a chariot dead from Megiddo, and brought him to Jerusalem, and buried him in his own sepulchre. And the people of the land took Jehoahaz, the son of Josiah, and anointed him, and made him king in his father's stead.
Now, all this was happening while in the time of Jeremiah. Because Jeremiah prophesied during the time of Josiah, all the way to Zedekiah. Go ahead, Brother Stephen.
2 Kings chapter 23, verse 31. Jehoahaz was 23 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 3 months in Jerusalem, and his mother's name was Hamutal, the daughter of Jeremiah of Libnah. And he did that which was evil in the sight of Yahweh, according to all that his fathers had done. And Pharaoh Necho put him in bands at Riblah in the land of Hamath, that he might not reign in Jerusalem, and put the land to a tribute of 100 talents of silver and a talent of gold.
Mm-hmm.
And Pharaoh Necho made Eliakim, the son of Josiah, king in the room of Josiah his father, and turned his name to Jehoiakim, and took Jehoahaz away, and he came to Egypt and died there.
Mm.
And Jehoiakim gave the silver and the gold to Pharaoh, but he taxed the land to give the money according to the commandment of Pharaoh. He exacted the silver and the gold of the people of the land, of every one according to his taxation, to give it unto Pharaoh Necho. Jehoiakim was 25 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 11 years in Jerusalem, and his mother's name was Zebudah, the daughter of Pedaiah of Rumah. And he did that which was evil in the sight of Yahweh, according to all that his fathers had done.
Now, that's going to be your situation when you return back into the land. That from that point on, you're going to be taxing the nations.
Mm-hmm.
I think in the book of Matthew, they call it tribute, tribute money. Just like they still take up tribute money today. And some of the Muslim countries, they take up tribute money from them Edomites, staying among them. And so that would be what will be coming to us, tribute money, when the Mashiach sits on this throne. Go ahead, Brother Stephen.
2 Kings chapter 24, verse 1. In his days, Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, came up, and Jehoiakim became his servant 3 years. Then he turned and rebelled against him. And Yahweh sent against him bands of the Chaldees, and bands of the Syrians, and bands of the Moabites, and bands of the children of Ammon, and sent them against Yehudah to destroy it, according to the word of Yahweh, which he spake by his servants, the prophets. Surely at the commandment of Yahweh came this upon Yehudah, to remove them out of his sight for the sins of Manasseh, according to all that he did, and also for the innocent blood that he shed, for he filled Jerusalem with innocent blood, which Yahweh would not pardon. Now the rest of the acts of Jehoiakim and all that he did, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Yehuda?
Mm-hmm.
So Jehoiakim slept with his fathers, and Jehoiachin his son reigned in his stead.
Now, look at that again. Look at that verse again. It says, so Jehoiakim slept with his fathers, but Jehoiachin, his son, reigned in his stead. Now, Jehoiachin is not of the son of Josiah.
Mm.
Jehoiachin is not Josiah's son. So, actually, he illegitimate for being sitting on that throne and having that kingship given to him, but he's not of Josiah's son. Go ahead, Brother Stephen.
2 Kings chapter 24, verse 7.
Mm-hmm.
And the king of Egypt came not again any more out of his land, for the king of Babylon had taken from the river of Egypt unto the river Euphrates all that pertained to the king of Egypt. Jehoiachin was 18 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned in Jerusalem 3 months. And his mother's name was Nehushta, the daughter of Elnathan of Jerusalem. And he did that which was evil in the sight of Yahweh, according to all that his father had done. At that time, the servants of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, came up against Jerusalem, and the city was besieged. And Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, came against the city, and his servants did besiege it. And Jehoiachin, the king of Babylon, and Jehoiachin, the king of Yehuda, went out to the king of Babylon, he and his mother and his servants and his princes and his officers, and the king of Babylon took him in the 8th year of his reign. And he carried out thence all the treasures of the house of Yahweh, and the treasures of the king's house, and cut in pieces all the vessels of gold, which Shlomo, king of Israel, had made in the temple of Yahweh, as Yahweh had said. And he carried away all Jerusalem, and all the princes, and all the mighty men of valor, even 10,000 captives, and all the craftsmen and smiths. None remained, save the poorest sort of the people of the land. And he carried away Jehoiachin to Babylon, and the king's mother, and the king's wives, and his officers, and the mighty of the land. Those carried he into captivity from Jerusalem to Babylon.
Mm-hmm.
And all the men of might, even 7,000, and craftsmen and smiths 1,000, all that were strong and apt for war, even them the king of Babylon brought captive to Babylon.
You can find that in the prophet Jeremiah, chapter 29, verse 1 and 2, from verse 14 here to verse 16. You find it in Jeremiah 29, verse 1 and 2. Go ahead, Brother Seth.
2 Kings chapter 24, verse 17. And the king of Babylon made Mattaniah, his father's brother, king in his stead, and changed his name to Zedekiah.
Mm-hmm.
Zedekiah was 21 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 11 years in Jerusalem. And his mother's name was Hamutal, the daughter of Jeremiah of Libnah. And he did that which was evil in the sight of Yahweh, according to all that Jehoiakim had done. But through the anger of Yahweh, it came to pass in Jerusalem and Yehuda, until he had cast them out from his presence, that Zedekiah rebelled against the king of Babylon.
All right, Stephen, I don't want to go no further than that. I'm going to stop here and open the floor up for questions before we dismiss. Does anyone have any questions? Yes.
Elder, you said Jehoiakim,
Jehoiachin,
he's not the son of,
Josiah.
he's of Jehoiakim's son.
Yeah.
That's his son, Jehoiakim. Okay. So how did Jehoiakim get put in that position behind Josiah?
Well, let's read up to that. In verse 1, in his day, Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, came up, and Jehoiakim became his servant 3 years. Then he turned and rebelled against him. And Yahweh sent against him bands of the Chaldees, and bands of the Syrians, and bands of the Moabites, and bands of the children of Ammon, and sent them against Yehudah to destroy it, according to the word of Yahweh, which he spake by his servant the prophets. Surely at the commandment of Yahweh came this upon Yehudah, to remove them out of his sight for the sins of Manasseh, according to all that he did, and also for the innocent blood that he shed, for he filled Jerusalem with innocent blood, which Yahweh would not pardon. Now the rest of the acts of Jehoiakim and all that he did, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Judah? And so Jehoiakim slept with his father, and Jehoiachin his son. That's not the son of Josiah.
Okay.
All right. Now Zedekiah is the son of Josiah.
Right.
Right. And the kingship always goes to the son of the king. But Jehoiachin was not the son of the king, not the son of Josiah. Because when you go, for instance, in Jeremiah chapter 1, look what it says here. In Jeremiah chapter 1, in verse 1, it says, the words of Jeremiah, the son of Hilkiah, of the priests that were in Anathoth, in the land of Benjamin, to whom the word of Yahweh came in the days of Josiah, the son of Ammon, king of Judah, in the 13th year of his reign. He came also in the days of Jehoiakim, the son of Josiah, king of Judah, unto the end of the 11th year of Zedekiah, the son of Josiah, king of Judah, unto the carrying away of Jerusalem captive in the 5th month. So all these kings after Josiah were Josiah's sons. But Jehoiachin was not his son. Right. Are there any more questions? All right, then let's see what's on the chat.
Got one more question. In 27, who you said was
What
this was
chapter?
during chapter 23 and 27.
23 and 27 it says, and Yahweh said, I will remove Judah also out of my sight, as I have removed Israel, but cast off this city, Jerusalem, which I have chosen, and the house of which I said my name shall be there. What?
And you said this was during the time of Zedekiah?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is we'll pick up what happens in chapter 25 with Zedekiah, and also in the last chapter of Jeremiah. It talks about what happened to Zedekiah and the deportation of our fathers into the land of Babylon. And so, yeah, that verse there came to pass when the Babylonians came in on Zedekiah, and they destroyed the temple, they destroyed the city, they destroyed the walls of the city, and they took all the people that were in the city that they had not killed and brought them into the land of Babylon, and they stayed there 70 years until they came back out under Cyrus the Great. Okay.
Thank you.
And are there any more questions? All right, let's see what's on the chat.
I got one more question for you. This is from my wife.
Oh, from your wife?
Yeah.
Okay.
She has in the new city, in New Jerusalem, right?
New city of Jerusalem coming out of heaven?
Well, it says there would be Israel and Yahshua sitting on that throne.
Both of them will have thrones.
Right. She said, will they have the same equal?
Will they have the same responsibility? Will they have the same power?
Right.
First of all, that's never been done before.
Right.
Have two kings reigning at the same time. So we don't know how that's going to work out. They got it worked out some kind of way, but that's never happened in our history. Have two kings reigning at the same time. I mean, I'm not talking about the son of a king, like in Jotham's case. His father Uzzah got leprosy.
Yeah.
Right, for going into that temple trying to burn incense. Right. Well, they had to kick him out the kingship and let his son reign in his stead, but yet still had two kings,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
But one of them was sick and the other wasn't. And in this case, then the new heaven and new earth, we're gonna have two thrones with the Mashiach and Israel. We don't know how that's gonna work. Whether the Mashiach will be in charge of all things that have been changed into eternal life, and Israel may be over things that pertain to angels and spirits.
Okay.
And I'm not, that's just me.
Yeah.
I may not be that at all. But like I said, there's nothing in the history book that shows how does that work. We don't have a pattern.
But let me ask you something. When it's in Corinthians, does that pertain to that new earth? When it said all things are made subject to the Son, then the Father's going to take it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's talking about Yahweh, not Israel, right?
Right.
Okay.
Father's always Yahweh.
Yeah. Okay. So now that don't explain what they're going to be doing.
Right.
I got you.
Right. Are there any more questions? All right. I have. Let's see here. I have Avisha Judah on YouTube. Shalom Avisha Judah. Shalom Morning Crisp. Shalom that David on YouTube.
Let's see. Yep.
Okay. Shalom Brother David. Shalom Sister Niara. How do you pronounce her name? Niara.
Not
Neriah.
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 Yeah.
Ah, man.
Neriah. Yeah.
Shalom Brother Eliyahu. Shalom Elder Tobiah. Shalom Susan Garmin. Shalom Heads 5. Shalom Lonely Red Wolf. Shalom Brother McAnderson. Shalom Power Play for Real. Shalom Angeline Rowe. Shalom Brother Yahoo. Let's see here. Yahweh magnified the prophecy. Prophecies are rapidly speeding up. You're absolutely right, Brother Yahoo. Shalom Gregory Rucker. Shalom Elder Hiram. Most of all, Edom, you got this one, Gentile going around telling them he's going to burn their Talmud. Have you heard about this? Somebody talking about burning up the Talmud.
I don't know. Little hat people got everybody coming down on them.
Well, yeah, it sounds like the white folks turning back into white folks.
Getting us and them, huh?
They don't like us, don't like them Jews. Shalom, Sister Rachel. Shalom, Brother Obi. Shalom, Brother Ada Halim and Sister Malaka. Shalom, Brother Malachi. Shalom, Brother Abraham. Shalom, Yamina by Israel. Shalom, Kevin Burtz. Shalom, MSC. Shalom, Amelia Pennington, wife of Meshach. Sister Amaria. Shalom, Melinda Curry. Shalom, Morning Crisp. Shalom, Elder Priest. 2 Kings 20, verse 18. Please explain how Manasseh have a son. It said, chapter 20, verse 18. Okay. And of thy sons that shall issue from thee, which thou shalt beget. Good question, dog. Shall they take away, and they shall be eunuchs in the palace of the king of Babylon. That's the key verse there. That explains the time and the place. Now Manasseh was not in Babylon, nor was his son. So whoever the king's seed, when they got into Babylon, that's when they would become eunuchs. And when you read up in Daniel chapter 1, him and his 3 partners was ruled over by the eunuchs and during Nebuchadnezzar's reign. So that we didn't hear where Daniel ever got married, and we didn't hear too much more about them 3 Hebrew boys. So we might be talking about, again, these are Jews taken in captivity, so Daniel might have been what they were referring to, my sister. So again, The reason Manasseh had church because they weren't in Babylon at the time. Shalom, Brother Adrian Davis.
Shalom, brother.
Steve, say shalom, my brother. Shalom, Brother Ezra ben Israel. Shalom, Brother Yosef. Shalom, Jimmy O'More. Shalom, Elder Priest, Elder, 2 Kings 23 and 25. I thought it said the same thing about this great granddad Hezekiah. Let's see, 2 Kings 23 and 25. It says, and like unto him was there no king before him that turned to Yahweh with all his heart, and with all his soul, with all his might, according to all the law, according to all the law of Moshe. Neither had after him arose that any like him. So he's referring to King Josiah, I believe. And so what he's saying is, the question is, I thought it said that the same thing about his great granddad Hezekiah. Yeah, that's true. He did say that. But those words are also used in other parts of the book when it talks about returning back to the holy days, that there was no holy day kept like that particular king. And so that again, the prophets are writing these things, and this is what they saw. Now the prophet that wrote, the scribe that wrote in for Hezekiah, wrote what they saw, and the scribe that wrote for Josiah wrote what they saw. And so they described it the way they wanted to describe it. That's his. I didn't know that was him. Shalom, Kendra Davis, Sister Kendra Davis. Shalom, Tamika Wooders. Shalom, Brother Alahayim. Praise God. So Jehoiachin is not the son of Jehoiakim. I thought Jehoiakim originally name was Eliakim, son of Josiah, 2 Kings 23, and 34. Okay, it says, and Pharaoh Necho made Eliakim, the son of Josiah, king in the room of Josiah his father, and turned the thing to Jehoiakim, and took Jehoahaz away. He came to Egypt and died there. All right, now remember now, Jehoahaz took over after the death of Josiah. That was Jehoahaz was his son, and so Jehoahaz had a son named Eliakim, who Pharaoh Necho changed his name to Jehoiakim, and so what your question is not Jehoiachin is not the son of Jehoiakim. Yes, it is. It says in verse 6 in chapter 24, so Jehoiakim slept with his fathers, and Jehoiachin, his son, reigned in his stead. So yeah, he is the son of Jehoiakim. Yeah. No, don't be confused here. That you have Jehoiakim having a son named Jehoiachin. Right, but Jehoiakim was the son of Josiah. Right? So Josiah had other sons also. So the throne, the kingdom is supposed to go to the son of the king, not the grandson of the king.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? That's all that's saying. Ezra ben Israel says, can you show me where to find the two thrones in the kingdom so I can put it in my notes? All right, let's go to Revelation chapter 22. And look at what it says here. This is Revelation 22, verse 1. And he showed me a pure river of water of life, clear as crystal, proceeding out of the throne of Elohim and of the Lamb. In the midst of the street of it, and on either side of the river, was there the tree of life, which bare 12 manner of fruit, and yielded her fruit every month. And the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations. And there shall be no more curse, but the throne of Elohim and of the Lamb shall be in it, and servants shall serve him. And they shall see his face, and his name shall be in their foreheads. So again, you look at that, you got two thrones there, and on that new earth now. It's not this earth here. It's going to be on that new earth, and it's going to be a little bit. I imagine it's going to be really, really big. This new earth, because you see how big the city of Jerusalem is going to be. Jerusalem is going to be 1,500 miles. Well, the wall is going to be 1,500 miles tall, 1,500 miles wide, and 1,500 miles deep, thick, wide. So yeah, you got the dimensions of that wall, of the city, of the new city of Jerusalem. The walls of it are like a box with the same measurements roundabout, but we're talking about the wall here. So in that particular city, the earth is the size of the city is 2/3 the size of America. That's just a city. But what about the rest of the nations going to be there? There's going to be some more people there besides us. So that means that the earth itself maybe look much bigger just for the cause of that big city. Right? So the nation's got to have somewhere to live. So again, it's going to be very different on that new earth, because again, you got two thrones there that are going to be ruling over that new earth. Now, all we got is what they wrote in here. Now, there got to be more, a little bit more to this than what we read, because we're looking at whatever happened to the angels on that new earth. You don't hear about the angels at all, except around the gates. So that might have something to do with the relationship between Israel and the angels, where they have dominion over them, and Yahshua had dominion over everybody else. Now, again, I'm just guessing. There's nothing in stone. So I hope that helps you out, Brother Israel. Shalom, Clarence Marks. Shalom, and Sister Yolita. Shalom, Morning Crisp. Okay. I don't have anything after Morning Crisp.
That's it.
All right. Thank you all for joining us on Facebook and YouTube. Join the Sisters class is coming 5th day, which is Thursday at 8 o'clock p.m. On Zoom, and join us for our Sabbath service this Saturday at 1 o'clock p.m. and we'll see you there. Let's see here. Okay. All right. I think that's it.